Hey everyone, I really can't lie about this. There are some kids out front that are Nicky Nicky nine doing, and if you know what that is, if it makes me laugh. But I'm gonna do this video anyway. So if you're a business based in North America, in the UK, or Europe, you're probably noticing that measuring scope 1, scope 2, or scope 3 carbon emissions isn't enough anymore. Now your major customers, or maybe those suppliers that you work with, or the procurement teams of your big customers, or even platforms like EcoVadis or CDP or SBTi or different regulations in states across the country you're in. Maybe they're asking for more than just the numbers, but they need them verified or assured by an independent third party. My name is Lindsay Hampson. I own a company called ThisRock, and I love making videos like this that describe what me and my team are learning about sustainability, the environment, social, all those things, but to do with the business realm and to do with the supply chain. So, what does this actually mean? Accreditation, verification, are they the same? What's the difference between limited and reasonable assurance? Honestly, we're getting all in the weeds on this. Why is everyone suddenly asking for this is something I'm also going to answer. So, during this video, I'm going to cut through the jargon. In a couple of minutes, I want to cover all those terms, who actually does this work, because that's probably going to be your next question, and why ignoring this could cost you major contracts. Okay, let's go. All right, so let's demystify these core terms before we move further. So, verification versus assurance. So, in the sustainability world, these two words are often used interchangeably, but they're not. It's not the case. So, assurance is the legal process where an auditor reviews your emissions data and calculations. So, it definitely should remind you of a financial audit. Whereas verification is the outcome. It's like a signed statement confirming your numbers are accurate according to a recognized standard, like, I bet you're going to guess it, ISO 14064 3, for example, or ISAE 3410. Accreditation. This applies to the auditor. So this is a human, not you. An accredited auditor means that they are legally certified and qualified to issue an official verification statement. So now let's talk about limited assurance versus reasonable assurance. Limited assurance is like a spot check, or it's like a light audit where someone went through, checked a couple bills, that kind of thing. This auditor reviews your methodology and sample data to confirm that there's no obvious error, that you threw something really big into the wrong category, for example. This is what most platforms require today. So, again, assurance. Reasonable assurance is a deeper dive, a financial grade audit. It requires more rigorous testing and field checks. It takes more time and costs a lot more. Why is this whole assurance verification thing popping up now in RFP questions or questionnaires? Why are your big customers asking, or why are states asking for this? Number one, EcoVadis. So if you self-declare your carbon data without attaching an external verification statement, EcoVadis caps your score. I have seen this firsthand. We've done over 45 EcoVadis questionnaires for clients all around the world. And I see that reporting can get capped at 75, meaning you can't get as high as you could possibly get or get 100 without third-party verification. CDP also explicitly asks for your verification standard, the percentage of emissions covered. It also asks for a signed statement. Unverified data loses significant scoring points. There is a cap. I know this is rated more like back in school days where there's A's and B's and C's and D's and so on. So you get capped at a certain level if you don't have this verification. SBTi, which is a science-based target initiative, setting science-based targets requires a robust baseline data. So verifying that data is just smart, and they want to see that it's built on solid ground. It definitely won't prevent you from setting targets, but it is important to have. And finally, other regulations all around the world. I'm not going to have time to list them all, but let's just talk about California's SB 253. It requires that reporting has mandatory limited assurance by 2027 right now and reasonable assurance by 2030. So because of the last work we just talked about, you now kind of know what I'm talking about. And in Europe, the CSRD and the UK climate mandates are following similar paths. Simply put, let's just summarize this. Companies are eliminating greenwashing risks by making suppliers prove their numbers, just like in finance and accounting. All right. Who performs this thing and what does it cost? Covered a little bit already, but who does it? You need an independent, accredited environmental or financial auditing firm. Again, this can be a sustainability firm. This ranges from specialists in carbon audit and to all the way to the big four accounting firms or the biggest accounting firms in the world. So, what does it cost for small to mid sized enterprises? So, this is for scope one and scope two limited assurance. You can expect costs between $5,000 to $15,000 US annually for a straightforward verification. Again, that's just for scope one and scope two limited assurance. For large enterprises or for scope three inclusion, costs can get way, 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 way bigger. We've seen costs between 20,000 to 50,000, way up beyond that, even in US. This is all depending on the complexity of a company. This could be how many sites, how many locations, how many countries do they work in? It could be how many employees do they have? And honestly, it's just getting to whether reasonable assurance is required. But my pro tip for you is make sure your auditor issues a statement citing ISO 14064 3 or ISAE 3410. This single document would satisfy EcoVadis, CDP, and enterprise buyers all at the same time. So things might change, things are fluid, but I really want to get to the crux of how much does this thing cost, who can do this, and tell you one obvious no-brainer thing. If you're already working with a consultant that you love and they're the ones that helped you calculate your greenhouse gas emissions, they can't be the ones to verify it. You got to get another party to do it. You can't check your own work. A very common concern is what if you're worried that your data is not perfect? Huge fear. What if we made a mistake in our energy conversions or scope three estimates? Or what if some number was wrong or something happened? But honestly, the reality is that auditors aren't there to catch you and punish you. The verification process is designed to spot calculation errors or gaps or give you a chance to correct them before issuing a final statement. So, they're the good guys, is what I'm trying to get at. And it's okay to not be perfect. We're all humans. So that's why we do this. That's why you would check your data and have it checked. So why do it? Honestly, this is becoming clearer and clearer every day for me. You can win RFPs and keep enterprise customers happy if you can show that you're thinking about verification or putting budget aside for this next year and so on. Plus, you can maximize scores on EcoVadis, CDP, other ESG ratings. Again, for those regulations and countries, there's no way to hit the ceiling or hit the top marks or beat your competitors if everybody else is doing it and you're not. And also, it protects your brand against greenwashing allegations. Honestly, I think everybody has the best intentions at mind when they start pulling their utility bills and putting it into a spreadsheet or using a software tool. They want to get the right data. They want to be transparent about the data. I think it's rare that a lot of people try to lie, but there's errors because, as I mentioned, we're all human. So if you're a small business with no enterprise clients or regulatory triggers, you could wait. But if you deal with major corporations like the biggest companies in the world, ignoring this could mean losing business if your competitors start to have this data third party verified. So that's all I want to leave you with. That's why you would do it. All right. So I mentioned I work at a company called ThisRock, and we help businesses do EcoVadis certifications or get their ratings. We help do CDP, SBTi, all the acronyms out there. We also do IFRS, SASB. We do ISSB, the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosures. You name it, we've probably seen it or done it before. We work with clients in pharmaceutical, automotive, manufacturing, all over the world. We've worked in 7 different countries across 65 companies, which is amazing. So if you ever need help with carbon accounting or you want to help getting it organized or even getting it audit ready and verified so that you can do better in EcoVadis or CDP and you can kind of beat your competitors, then let us know if we can help you. If you need even help preparing the greenhouse gas emissions data for an audit or finding the right verification pathway, or even you want to pick our brain on who best to use for verification, please reach out to us. We're real people. Again, I'm Lindsay at ThisRock. And don't forget to like or subscribe or share this video. I hope it was helpful to you. If there's any other topic you want us to cover, we're always happy to. We try to learn lots about sustainability, learn lots about what businesses need to do, are doing, and then pass the information every week along to people just like you in order to help. All right, I hope this video was helpful to you. Thanks again for staying right to the end, and I hope you have a great week. See you later.